Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Animal Crossing playthrough of sorts. It's kind of going to be more of like a ranty thing. Rant is maybe a bit aggressive, but I'm just going to kind of talk through stuff. I'm basically looking for a new villager with my one, and right now I'm waiting on amiibo cards, so I might just end up doing that over this. But there's a special thing going on on a new channel actually coming out that will probably be out by the time this video is out. But I kind of just want to talk a bit of Animal Crossing while I grinded for this new villager. So um, we're just gonna kind of go through some stuff. I time travel a lot too, so that's where the dates all it might actually be right for this video coming out, but it's wrong for the other reasons. But anyways, yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through it and hopefully we get what we need to see. I think I need to choose some time though, to be fair. But either way, yeah, just be vibing. Um, very nice, very nice. Yeah, so basically, what I did is I actually ended up making a new town for this new project that me and Jake are going to be working on very shortly here, or maybe even again being worked on as I speak, depending on when this video comes out. But I just wanted to kind of, you know, record it because why not, and talk my thoughts about Animal Crossing. So. Um, I when this game came out, I really enjoyed it. I really did. And then it kind of felt a lot more repetitive, I think, than other games. Like the repetition of it actually really caught up to me in a lot more ways than normal with these types of games. Um, I think there's just so much that you can do that the sort of the lack of limitations sort of uh ruins the game for me in a weird way, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know exactly how to describe it though. It's not really like a comparison to make there. I think just like the pure okay, you're sleeping. Okay, we'll save. I think the fact that you can just like build anything you want, you can design anything you want, you can do anything you want at any time in the game. It's sort of like the biggest thing for me that I just felt so overwhelmed whenever I would play this game on all the different things you can do. And, I think that level of freedom kind of ruined the game for me in a weird way. And there's other flaws with this game too that I have. Um, Number one probably being the villager interactions, which I think we're gonna fix a little bit with this kind of new project that we're gonna be working on, which I'm very excited about. I've actually never seen anyone do this thing that we're gonna be doing before, but like, the villager interactions is the first thing that like when I think of Animal Crossing, I think, oh, we have fun villager interactions. You get to learn people's lives and like really enjoy some of those stories and things. But yeah, it fell very flat in the newest game where that's fine. Okay, sorry to focus on that for a second. Where like the village interactions are very like one dimensional. All the characters like their personality types are a lot more limited. Like everyone's just like super positive and like, oh, you're our hero, you're our thing, and it's like no, it's like you didn't feel like one of them, one of the people. You felt like sort of this like air above you that like you didn't. That wasn't really a thing in the other games. Like you were just kind of like among the village. Now it's like, oh, you're like their king god, and I don't know. I never played the 3DS version. I feel like that's kind of similar vibe, maybe in the 3DS version, where like you're the mayor of the town and all this fun stuff. But um, in this game, it's a lot less grounded in that respect. And I really appreciated that the most in like the old games, like the GameCube, where you basically the main draw of that game was talking to villagers, doing quests. At least for me, it was. And I mean, there's freedom to do other stuff too in that game, but the main draw of it was not like the micromanagement of every little detail on your island to make it the perfect thing, with all these different freedom options of creativity and things. And it was more about relations with villagers and like feeling like you're a part of this like city. Um, and like you're like just doing, you're just like you're a part of it with this group, and it was a lot more immersive in that way. And now it because you are like this like all-seeing like God. I feel like in this game, it's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot more trivialized. The oh, it's a bug. Oh, I don't think it's gonna happen today. Um, but I don't know. Like that's just my biggest issue with it. The villager interactions are just really struggling. And because of the sandbox mode and everything like that, I feel like they shifted the focus on what made Animal Crossing so special, which was those villager interactions that you'd have day in and day out. I'm looking specifically for Amelia, by the way, just so you're curious. She does not have bubbles, so I have to leave. Um, but yeah, that's like the biggest thing for me. It was just that aspect of the game being like very trivialized, I feel. And like for example, like the grouchy characters, right? They kind of just became like old cranky characters now. Like they aren't like nearly as like in your face with their dialogue options. And I don't know, it just feels a lot less realistic. Like it's like they talk down to you in a lot of ways. And like again, that's sort of like no, they talk up to you rather, I meant to say. Like you're treated as though you're somebody who's like not a part of a situation, but like is sort of like this like greater than thou type of being, and I just don't like that. You know, that's not what drew me into Animal Crossing. It was sort of that immersive experience that was just so interesting to me. Um, but anyway, sorry, I'm going on a rant here. But you know, overall, I liked the game a lot. I really liked the intro sequence of this game, which is why I kind of restarted the town as well, because I really loved getting going with this game, like and having that objective, and you know, like that worked well overall. Like I don't think that was necessarily part of the issue of the game. Um, Again, I don't think it was perfect, but I think for like intros for Animal Crossing, this was the best intro for an Animal Crossing game because it I didn't like how long it took, but I also appreciated the journey the first time I did it. The second time was a little less fun, but like the first time you did that and like you went through everything and you learned everybody and you kept having these like special like buildings and stuff come up and it really built out your island. That was so cool. Um, but then it sort of kind of dwindled a little bit for me when after the KK event, you kind of were just like left on your own. You have the ability to morph the entire Earth. You have the ability to kick anybody, not kick people out, but you have the ability to just keep people in place forever. Like I don't like that aspect either. Or, like I liked the randomness of like losing villagers and things like that. And again, with the villager interactions, it's just a lot more shallow. I feel in this game than in previous iterations. Um, but when you had that level of freedom to build whatever you wanted, to build outside, I think is one of the biggest issues of this game. And I don't. Oh, maybe we can do a campsite one actually. Let me see. I'm curious. But anyways, yeah, that's one of the biggest issues of this game is that exact aspect is the ability to have your island look exactly how you want, no flaws, no anything. It's like the beauty of the world that is built and the graphic design and everything. Like I don't know, like I just love that like natural look, and you have the option to not do any of that stuff, and like that's great. I don't like doing that stuff. Personally, I just like the good rustic look of the place a little bit more, if that makes sense. But also it's like that aspect of the game was so highlighted compared to the stuff that really made the game special was the jobs that you would do for people. I could straight up play the Animal Crossing GameCube. Rocco. Well, Rocco would be so cool if I can get him, but I don't think you can replace from here. I don't think you can. Let me see. Yeah, no. Okay. Not happening. But anyways, where's my train of thought? I don't even know. It was around, I guess, just the level of I guess, yeah, the dedication that went to building your own island to look exactly how you want it. And it made things also look a lot more natural. Like there's a lot more unnatural aesthetics to a lot of these towns. And I don't know. Like I didn't love that either. Let me see where Amelia is. Is she in her house? She's not. Okay. So we're trying to boot her out, yeah, like I mentioned. But yeah, the point of you know, picking exactly who stays and never having people leave if you just get your favorite villagers, and even just being able to pick your favorite villagers. Again, there's a lot of ways around this. Like you can randomize villagers and things, but you can never make them natural, and they do naturally leave actually. So that is a bit of a lie. But like when it comes to naturally, you know, I don't know, like just leaving out of the blue. You know what I mean? Like that was different. That hit different. That was a special event. a lot more than like you knowing exactly what's going to happen and you being like the all powerful being that makes those decisions at the end of the day. Like I don't know, it's just they made this game a lot more of a sandbox than it used to be, where before it was a lot more of like a life sim type of deal. At least in my opinion, that's kind of how I felt about it. It was a much more life sim game, but also like a like it really felt like you were earning something when you did stuff. And now like the sense of accomplishment's a lot less there. I mean, it's there in different ways, I suppose. Like now it's there for like you made a really cool build on your island, you made a really cool, thing. Um, but that doesn't get the same like level of dedication that other things might get you. Um, like for me it's a lot about like forming the relationships with certain villagers and really feeling like you're part of a environment, and that sort of role playing aspect of it. Obviously, yeah, you never take it too far. You never go to like this extreme where you're like, oh, I live in the Animal Crossing world now. No, but like it was a fun little like getaway where like you could like kind of live a life in this game outside of your own, if that makes sense. Like I think that's what games are a lot of the times, especially RPGs and things like that, where it's like you're immersed in this world and you're not saying Animal Crossing's RPG, but that sort of that same goal, that same end goal. We talked to Apple as well. Um, of like you're part of this village, whatever you want to call it, and you can do whatever you want. You could fish, you could hunt bugs, you can do all this stuff, right? And you can still do all that stuff, but the dialogue's a lot less impactful. The innovative experience is a lot less there, and it's also the ability to make all the choices for your town without any consequence. Really, that is the part that I really don't enjoy with this game. That's like the one thing that I'm like, man, really? I'm not going to do Gulliver. Also, his Gulliver stuff's a lot worse. Um, but that's a much smaller issue with the game. Um, but yeah, that's basically my main thoughts around Animal Crossing. Again, I did like this game when it came out. I like the intro a lot. The designing tools are really strong in this game. I haven't done any in this island yet, but like I'm really excited to get back into that aspect of it. She might be in like the museum today, and that means that I can't talk to her in that way. Yeah, so let me talk to other people though while I'm here. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts around it. I think that and like what is that? You know what I mean? What is that dialogue? It's a one paragraph sentence where it means like nothing. It's just this shallow. I don't know. That's the issue with this game. The dialogue is so dry and boring. Like I talk to Cube a lot in this game. Not really, but like when I talk to Cube in this game, for example, like it's literally like I'll say, "Hey, what's up?" and then he's just like, "Another fun day in Mementos," and that's his entire dialogue for the day. And it's like, really, you have nothing else interesting to say there at all? Like I don't know. It just feels like dialogue was an afterthought, and I feel like that was such a strong part of the previous iterations of the game. And I feel like a broken record when I say that, but like honestly, it's true. It really is like such an impactful part of the game that has just been completely neglected, I feel. Um, Let me just go to the next day. I imagine she's in the museum or in the shop or something, and she won't leave in that moment. Um, but yeah, that's my biggest flaw overall is the dialogue. And in terms of other things I like about this game, I love the design aspects. I think the designing is one of the strongest things in the game. I don't love I don't love the idea of putting designs anywhere and everywhere. I think that it again ruins a lot of the natural look and inspires people to make like these like cities that are just straight up like metropolitan. Like it completely ruins the vibe entirely of the game, of the natural aesthetic and things. And you don't have to do that, and so I'm not, and I think that's fine too. Like I shouldn't be so upset that there are choices to be made there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why I am, to be honest, but like I think mainly because the game missed out on so much outside of that element, and it kind of neglected, I feel like, the purpose of the game itself, which is again immersing yourself in this village. At least for me, like if it can have all of these options, all these choices, all these god building modes, and also include the great dialogue, and also include some of those immersive questings and things of that nature, and was focused less on the customization of furniture and things like that, and more on just kind of being around and like maybe doing your own thing with your own house, and that's it. right? Like get back to that simple vibe of like the GameCube era days. I think I'd like this game a lot more. Um, but again, it's fine if like that focus is there. It needs to have the other focus too. That's my biggest concern. And it doesn't have that second focus. It doesn't hit that nail on the head like it did in previous iterations because it's so focused on the creativity, on the crafting, on all this stuff, right? Um, and speaking of crafting, oh my goodness, tool durability in this game is god awful. It's such a stupid idea um, that they made to add those tools into this game. Like I don't fully understand why they did the durability with the tools, especially with the iron tools. Like I feel like once you got the iron tools, it's like okay, you got an iron tool, it's not gonna break anymore. Like you're good, right? Or like maybe like once a month it'll break. Like after a month of time it'll break or something like that. But like straight up, like having an iron tool and then having it go away like one day later is like really, man? Like come on, you kidding me? Don't do that. Um, so yeah, it missed a lot of points for me. I wish that it more heavily reflected older games. But again, if it had those new systems now with all the fun little like gimmicks that it has, hello, hey Sid. Yeah, I still haven't gotten KK yet in this world actually, which is funny. But I just keep dropping the furniture on the ground because I really don't care that much about customizing the island, and like that's fine. Like I'm not saying I have to care. I'm not saying like this game needs to make me care about that. Like I genuinely, I'm okay with that. Like I know this isn't for me, this aspect of the game. I understand that. Let's put that down too, just so we can maybe get the KK event going. Um, but maybe not too. Who knows? But I don't see Amelia still, which is a bit shocking. She might be in her house. Let me check her house first. But yeah, like that's the biggest issue here. It's like it doesn't reflect everybody's play style when it comes to this game and like why people like it. It hits on an aspect that people like a lot and just amplifies that a ton and bank that other people would like that aspect of the game. Um, and for me, it just isn't quite there. I shouldn't have talked to her actually. Should not have talked to her because now that might lower the chances of her wanting to leave. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. What are you gonna do? Um, let's talk to other people over here just so they don't want to leave. Talk to Sid already. Let me actually say that she's doing some bad stuff too while I'm here. Um, but yeah, like that's my biggest, in a nutshell, which has been a ranty, tangenty nutshell. That's kind of my main issue with the game overall. I wish that it did a few of those things better and appealed to that audience of the game a bit more. And maybe they will in the future. When it comes to sort of the residents' relations and like doing favors for your residents and things like that, and like I don't know, like that. I don't. Again, I like the aspects of the customization. I'm glad that they're there. They're just not for me. They're not for me. And I think that they're really in depth and strong. They're not perfect, but they're strong. But again, they're just not for me. They're just not for me. Um, Good for now. And we can save. Yeah, I mean, this game does stuff nice. Auto saving is obviously fantastic. The saving feature is a lot stronger in this game than it was in previous iterations. Um, I do like all the different. I I do like I do like the building options, like being able to build unlimited bridges or like a good amount of bridges and build them where you want to is a dramatic improvement. At least choosing when you can build the bridges, I should say, rather than where you want to, because where you want to is pretty common. But doing that. Also, the slope building is cool. Like, I'm glad that you're able to do that stuff. Like, that's some good quality of life improvements. Instead of, I mean, obviously, natural slopes would be better, in my opinion, that start off in your village and then you kind of go from there. But I also understand why they did what they did. They had to progress you to those areas, because there are some more interesting stuff over there. It keeps you intrigued in the game, all that fun stuff. But um, I like um, I like interior decorating in this game. I'll say that much. Again, it's always been a strength of the game is the furniture. Like that makes sense for the indoors and all that stuff. It kind of got limited a little bit with the outdoor decoration, and I don't mind the outdoor decoration either, to be honest. Like the furniture and stuff, it's not all bad. Um, but the biggest issue for me is like the terraforming stuff and like putting patterns on the ground everywhere you want to go, and the pathing tool I despise. Oh, I despise it. I think a lot of people liked it when it came out, but I hate it. I think it completely ruins the aesthetic of the world. And again, I don't know why I'm upset about it. I'm just upset about it. Just let me be upset, because like again, I don't have to use it, and I don't. But it's like, why does that system get so much depth, get so much attention, so much love and care? Fencing as well is another thing. Like, it's like, why did you give these systems so much love and care, and yet you couldn't add stronger dialogue trees or add more villager activities that make sense for the world and kind of help you feel like it's a more lived in place. Um, I don't know. That again, like I'm glad these options are available for people, and the people who love them. And I shouldn't really be upset that there are more features in the game. You know, it's like, why are you upset with all the choices you have? But I think for me, it's like it sort of builds this expectation. The game is like, hey, if you're not going to get all you want out of this game, and you don't get all you want out of this game in some cases, if you don't utilize all of these tools at your disposal and make the most out of it, because I don't know. Again, that's where they put the attention. That's where they put the attention. Which is a work of art. Oh, it's red. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fun game. I enjoy it, and I hate the crafting system. Honestly, I despise it. I think it's so silly. I think it works for this game a lot better than other games, but also like the fact that your inventory can only get so big and things stack, but they don't stack well. Although I do like stacking, mind you. Like, it's a great feature. I wish they did it a bit more in this game, but it's honestly, that's a small beans compared to a lot of the other issues of this game. And I think they do stacking well overall. Like, honestly, I probably should be complaining about that. But the crafting system itself is pretty shallow. It's a little like, you just want to play. They just want to make you play the game as long as possible and kind of keep replaying. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. But I do like certain aspects of the game. I just wish I wish it appealed to a more broader. It had a more broader appeal. That's all. Um, selfishly, I would say. Again, this is a very selfish opinion. I think overall this game is good. It deserves the love it got. And I'm excited to see future iterations of the game as well. Let me see if you're in. You're not home right now. Are you outside thinking about leaving? Maybe. Maybe. No, she's having way too much fun. Let's talk to these two then. Yeah, like, what was that line? I don't know. And I remember Sid saying that last time I played this game, which was, and I time travel, of course. Like, it's a little different, but the point still stands. That blue one, that's interesting. I don't know how I got that flower, but that's cool. Yeah, well, I'm here. I might as well see how the beautification's going. I'm just throwing furniture on the ground, so beats me. But yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, in a nutshell, I just like the simple stuff. I like the vibes of Animal Crossing, and I feel like this game, I'm trying to like think like what it compares to. It's a sandbox. You know what I mean? It's a sandbox. It's a world builder. It's a god sim to a certain extent. Like, it's not what Animal Crossing used to be, in my opinion, and it scares me that this is the level that this is the game that got the level of success it got compared to like the other Animal Crossing games, which were very successful, but for very different reasons, and not to this level either. So I just hope it doesn't send a bad sign where it's like, oh, this is what they think Animal Crossing fans really care for. When in reality, at least for me, and I think for maybe a decent sized audience, and maybe not also, maybe I'm in the minority here, in which case, I mean, I wish again that they would add these elements in, but or like improve upon these elements of the game, but at the end of the day, they don't, right? Um, there's also no point in sending letters in this game whatsoever. Like letter writing is completely down the drain. Um, compared to what it was before, because I don't even think they show letters anymore to like friends who will travel to your town. I think it's solely like on the console itself, and that's fine. But you know, I'd also kind of hope that they would like showcase that stuff. I understand why they don't though, because you know things can't get censored, and some people can do very inappropriate stuff, especially if you're going to a city that you know you may not know the person very well or something of that nature. Um, but also it's like, man, that was such an important part of the game was the letter writing system, and it was so fun, and it really is a fun thing to go through and you know just write, you know, even if it is going to an AI to process, you know, and it seems like what the heck are you doing? You know, it's fun to just like make goofy letters and then you know have people stumble upon those goofy letters and be like, that's kind of funny, you know. Um, I don't know. There's just so much heart I feel in this game with the village interactions and things, and at least how I played it back in the day, that kind of got thrown by the wayside in this game. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But I'll give it one more day here, and if not, again, I will be having amiibo cards come in, so I'll replace them that way as well for this event, which is going to be very exciting. I'll be sure to post about it on this channel when that is out as well. I'll try to have this video out before that one, or like right before it, or like at the same time, or whatever it ends up being. And overall, I do love Animal Crossing. I've always loved the series. It's always been amazing to me, which is why I think I'm so passionately upset with this game. And it's not that like, I think it's a bad game. I think objectively it's a great game. I think subjectively I just dislike it. Because the purpose of the game is different. It's a very different purpose to play the game. It's either a collectathon to get all the bugs and fish as always, and that's always something that's fun, but like not like that much for me. Or it's a build the perfect city and you know have it all set up to be like a perfect look at things. Get that right piece of furniture and get that right aesthetic and things like that. Which is also not for me. I'm not into world building, god building type of a god sim game. I'm just not into that genre of game, right? So I don't know. I'm glad that the game took risks, and I'm glad that people enjoyed it because I'm glad this game got a lot more attention, like without a doubt. And don't get me wrong, I didn't want it to fail by any means. I'm very happy that it's succeeded the way that it has. Because again, I've loved the series for so long, since probably elementary school. But oh, thank you. I can just throw it on the ground somewhere. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, lovely. Oh, look how beautiful this town is. Oh, what the heck is that? I don't think I've ever seen that animal before. It's kind of cool. I don't think I have a net, though. Yeah, I don't. That's okay. That's cool, though. It's a fun little bug. Anyways. I've never seen an animal in this game. That's cool. That's fun. That's a funny line. I actually like that line a lot. Oh, this is a fun one. Yeah, like more of this. More of this interaction. I guess it's a cool interaction. Go along the coast, Fred. Huh. See, that's perfect. You know, and I'm not saying every single line has to be like that, but like not every single line has to be like a one sentence repeated dialogue of the same 7 things. And I feel like with those lines, I don't know what to think. Okay, she's not wanting to leave. That's fine. But like with those lines, it's like that adds so much to the world, and it feels so much more lived in, and the people have so much more personality that way. And that only came about because I haven't talked to them in like 2 weeks. And then you have a line like that, where like it's a fun line, but like it's like one line of dialogue. Like, come on, man. Like I'm not even gonna bother reading it at that point. You know, and I tried when the game was out. Don't get me wrong, I definitely did, and it might also be because I'm older and like I don't get amused by this stuff. But like I don't know, like I the other lines in the other games, like I could read those all day, and they didn't feel as repetitive as they do in this game. And that game has been out for 20 plus years, and this game's been out for like 5. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just it's mildly disappointing to see that that's kind of what the game's come down to. But that's just me. I don't know. But anyways, this has been a weird video, and not normal content, but I did kind of want to shout out, the new channel coming out. It'll probably be in the description of this video, honestly. Animal Crossing, which is, again, it adds to a lot of this villager aspect that I'm talking about. It improves those relations. It adds some drama as well, which I'm very excited for. And it should be a lot more fun, I feel like, as an experience as a whole. It's not purely Animal Crossing, but it's kind of like this fun little versus thing we're doing. Basically surrounding Survivor, the game show, with Animal Crossing villagers, and having these competitions between games, and it's amazing. Check it out. It's really cool. Super fun time, super competitive, but also really, again, super chill. And I think you'd enjoy it if you like our content, and if you liked the previous Soul Link that we did on my channel, but also on Jake's eventually at some point. I don't know what his editing schedule is like. It's probably a lot crazier than mine because he's a lot more going on. But anyways, rant over. I do like this game. Summary: it's an objectively good game. I just hope that this villager issue, which we saw a nice coincidence of Shep actually having really good dialogue, but otherwise it's been pretty dull, and it is pretty dull if you play the game enough and you understand, like, oh, there's the repetitive dialogue is insane in this game, and it's just not the same in that respect because they focus on other things. But that's my summary. I still like the game, and I think objectively it's a very good game. I think just subjectively it doesn't hit the mark for me quite the way the other games did. But I will step off my soapbox. If you enjoyed it, if you agree or disagree, and maybe this is just a weird opinion from me. Again, maybe I shouldn't be so upset with all the options that are given by this game, and I should just enjoy that they are there for people who want them. And I do enjoy that to a certain extent, but I also selfishly wish it sort of at least like respected some of the parts that I like about this game, and the things that I like. I love the fashion too. I'll give it that. I'll close with that. I love the designs of the clothes and everything. The clothing in this game is bar none the best in any Animal Crossing by far. And the villager variety, everything like that, great. Village designs, love them. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Positive note. Check out the other channel. It's a really fun playthrough. Really excited for it to come out and be out. It's not out at the moment of recording, but I'm very excited to see it come to fruition. I think it's going to be a really, really awesome, unique experience that will hopefully have a lot more lasting power and like different seasons and things like that. So, yeah, like, subscribe to that channel as well. It's called the Shy Guys Brigade. And, yeah, check us out. All right, bye.